Welcome to Harmony Baptist Children's Corner. My name is Dave. This is COVID Home Edition 58 for May the 16th, May 16th. All right, how many of you have siblings, brothers and sisters? How many of you have brothers and sisters? That's your siblings. You're all siblings. So if you have siblings, have you ever heard of sibling rivalry? Yeah, and that's much just like it sounds. It's a bit of a rivalry between brothers and sisters. They kind of like compete, who gets to be shotgun and who gets the last hunk of chicken or the last piece of KFC, So these are friendly rivalries, that's what they call sibling rivalry. Problem is sometimes rivalry turns into a little bit more than a competition, turns almost into a conflict, and then you're kind of racing each other for shotgun, and you give them a little bit, and then sometimes that conflict can turn into a confrontation, and that's where sometimes you get some name calling going, or sometimes you even escalate to slap somebody, or actually punch your brother or sister, Now this is where your parents. Usually they've come running at you, and they hear this, and they hear you yell, and they hear you fighting, and they come running in, and they demand an apology, and let me tell you why. When your parents, see, first of all, it's normal. First of all, it's absolutely normal for siblings to have sibling rivalry and to fight, and to get angry at each other. The thing what parents want is we want you to learn how to handle your anger. This is normal. Like I say, that's part of, how else are you going to learn things? When you go out in the world, you have to be able to handle your anger. The place to learn it is when you're at home. You're young with your brothers and sisters. That's your society. Then you go out into a bigger society. But right now, you need to learn how to handle your anger so that there isn't name calling, so there isn't slapping or hitting or punching. And that's what your parents don't want to see. We don't want you to do that. We want you to learn our family values. Our family values are respect and dignity, and we want you to respect your brothers and your sisters, because then you'll learn how to respect people in society and how to treat them with dignity, how to handle your anger and how to treat people with dignity. Let me tell you this, if I'm a parent and you get me involved in your problem, your confrontation, I'm going to determine what the outcome is. Even if this person's right and that person's wrong, and this person says, well, you should do this. No, I'm going to decide what I should do. If you get me involved, then I'm going to make the final decision on the outcome. So make sure, before you get your parent involved, that you're willing to put up with whatever they have to say. They may not completely agree with what you think they're going to say. So just say that. I'm just warning you that. If you get me involved, I will decide the outcome. Part of that also is, if there's some hurt, like an injury or some damage, whoever caused that is going to make amends. If you need to give some of your allowance up and pay for something, pay for a broken window, or if you actually hurt somebody, or you need to apologize, or maybe you need to do chores, extra chores, or maybe you can't go out and you get grounded, but you're going to make amends. Whoever hurt or damaged is going to make amends. That's the way it is. Now, like I said, the reason parents do this is because we want you to grow up holding those same family values that we hold when we had our children, and that's you. We want you to grow up, and when you have your children, have the same values, because we see how important family is to us. We know how important you are to us, how important our brothers and sisters, our families. We know how important family is, and you're starting to learn how important family is. There's a story in the Bible where there's these two brothers, and their family, well, two brothers, and one's a shepherd, and the other one's a farmer. And when it comes to sacrifice time, the farmer, he gives some of his crop. Here you go, God, this is, some of my crop I sacrifice. But the shepherd, he said, this is my first sheep, my first lamb, my very first lamb born. You can have the very first one born to me, God. And he sacrificed that. And God said, I really like that. And the other brother said, well, you didn't like mine. So he took his brother and they went out in the field. And if you know the story, it's the story of Cain and Abel. And he killed him. He was so mad that he killed him. Really talking murder. That's how wrong. Now, as a parent, it's like, we'd be agog if our kids did that. But So we don't want that to happen, you know. So we think about if Cain and Abel had gone out to the field, and Cain's mad, like he's really mad. God didn't like my stuff, yeah, you know. And if he had just calmed down for a second, like just took the time to breathe for a second, and instead of yelling, just said, Abel, I'm so upset, I'm so mad. Why did he like yours more than mine? I don't get it. And said it like that. And instead of being mad at Abel and blaming Abel, it's not Abel's fault. You know, and Abel, I don't know what Abel said, but he could have said, well, you know, Cain, maybe it was because I offered my best sacrifice. Don't say anything about Cain's. Just say maybe because I offered my best one. And just leave it like that. You don't want to confront. You don't want to conflict. I would have loved to have been able to talk to Cain and Abel and say, hey guys, like don't demand apologies, demand a cooperation with each other. Like I'm not going to make you apologize, I'm not going to make you apologize. What I'm going to make you do is make you cooperate with each other and make this work out. Because apologies are often like, well, you know, you've been told, apologize to your sister, sorry. Apologize to your brother, yeah, I'm sorry too, you know. And so it really sometimes doesn't mean much. But if you demand that you work together, you do that, and together you get this done. Well, now you have a common enemy. You're both mad at me. So then you're probably going to get along. All right? This is about sibling rivalries, and there are so many options to name-calling and hitting and punching and hurting. Keep your family values. Keep your respect and your dignity. And remember, if you call me in, I make the decision on what happens. And just think of the story of Cain and Abel. You really don't want to ever push that things far. But it's happened right out of the Bible. All right, I got to go. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Have a good week.